Do you want to build interactive diagramming applications like this org chart, this electric builder, or this automation platform, but you're not sure where to start with? Let me show you ngDiagram. My name is Jakub, and I'm one of the maintainers of ngDiagram, an open source diagramming library created for Angular. Every node is a real Angular component. The whole thing runs on Signals, and it's open source. In this series, I want to show you how to build a simple automation frontend. Today, we'll start with an empty terminal and create a basic setup for our application. Stay tuned for more. Let's start from zero. I will create a fresh Angular application with the Angular CLI. I will use ngNew ngDautomator. For the styles, I will use Tailwind. We don't need SSR here, and we can skip the AI setup. Now, since everything is installed, we can open our directory. We can use npm to install ngDiagram. Here we have a basic Angular application. There is nothing really here. With npm start, we launch the web server. You can see that this is the pretty basic demo. Now, in a few steps, let's add ngDiagram to this code. First, we need to start with importing the global styles. Next, for app.ts, we need to import ngDiagram component. ngDiagram uses clearly defined dependency injection scope, and we need to define where the services should be injected. For that, we use provide ngDiagram function exported from ngDiagram library. Okay, and let us also just create ngDiagram. Cool. It says we need to set a model. We'll start with a default model from our documentation. Let me paste the code. In ngDiagram, model is an interface. You can provide your own model as long as it implements all the interface functions we declared. The default model uses signals to store the nodes and edges, but there is no reason why you can't create your own storage. There is a small gotcha in ngDiagram. You need to have a clearly defined height for the diagram component. For our situation, in app.css, we'll add this code. And now let us have a look at our application. Okay, we can see two things here, actually three. First of all, we have a diagram. There are two nodes. The nodes are these blocks, and there is one edge that connects them. These nodes come from the model that we have just declared. Each node is an object inside the nodes array in the model. Similarly, each edge is also an object that connects two nodes. The important parts here. Each node and each edge should have an ID. For nodes, we also have to define the position. And depending on your business logic, the nodes should also carry some business model. In our scenario, this will be just label. Let's see what default node does. By default, it displays the label that is defined in the data. It also has two ports from which you can draw the links from or connect them. When you click on the node, you can see these handles here. These are created to resize the node. You can also use this arrow here to rotate the shape. Let's use some television magic to speed up the process. As you can see, I have added some more nodes to describe the process of approving the PTO requests. Let's look into the model. You can see that our nodes templates array grow. We have more items here, as well as more connections here. You can also see that here we have two arrows starting from the same node. And one more diagram trick. ngDiagram accepts a config object which allows us to set up a lot of global properties. One of them is zoom to fit functionalities. We can enable an onInit zoom to fit. In order to do that, you have to define a config object and you need to pass it to the ngDiagram component. In this episode, we have set up a simple Angular application with a very simple diagram. In the next ones, we will explore even more options of ngDiagram. Stay tuned!